2, 1.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the Winning at Life podcast. In this podcast, we want to inspire, we want to give knowledge, we want to help people, drop body fat, start a new business, do something new in life and improve their life in any way, shape or form. So I'm not on my own for this one. It's very, very hard doing it on your own. I have got my partner, see her every day, Mica, and you know what? Her videos get more views than mine, so let's add her on, and I'm sure that her cult of women and ladies with PCOS, Hashimoto's, and all the the women that are wanting to drop weight are going to take a lot from this podcast. So normally we pick one topic and we just roll with it and we just have a conversation. But actually, we've gone to clients, we've gone to Instagram, and what else? We've gone to TikTok to get a load of questions, and we picked the kind of best ones that we want to ask Mica. So if you've got a question in your head that you need answered, it's probably going to be asked in this podcast. So Mica's going to be giving tons of value. And yeah, let's go. So I've got all the questions on my notes. So let's go. First one is, are you okay, by the way?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I have been to the gym this morning and done a 60-minute Stairmaster.
Yeah.
So I do want to disclaim that my hair is very sweaty right now.
That is prioritization, guys. Take note. We're doing podcasts, but we still don't skip the gym. Right, okay. So if you was a, heavier woman right now, looking at, 90 to 100 kg or over that, what's the first thing... Well done, Keith. What's the first 3 things that you'd be doing to drop, 30 to 90 pounds?
So what's that? 30, 40 kg, which is probably on average what our clients or the women that we help do require to lose. So the 3 things I would, if I was a complete beginner wanting to just start Monday, I would look at my portions. If I wanted to do it in a way that I could just get started, I'd look at my portions. I wouldn't cut everything out. I'd just start off just doing things a little bit smaller, cutting cut a little bit of extra snacks, reduce some of my portions on my plate. That'd be the first simplest thing I'd do, and just increase some of my movement. You know, if I suspect a lot of those women probably aren't moving as much as they possibly could be. But don't overstretch yourself and think that you need to be doing jogging and doing bloody sprints up and down your street. Just get up and do 20 minutes of walking. It's more than what you probably have been doing. But number 3, if we consider that amount of weight, it's priority. I would hire a coach. I would hire a coach because I can but confidently say the chances are very, very slim. If you are 90, 100 kg or over, you are not doing 40 kilograms on your own. The chances of you achieving that are very, very slim.
I've never seen that.
It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because your rock bottom belief in yourself. And I say this because these are the conversations, of course, respectfully. Everything I say on this podcast is up to 200 conversations with women in an inbox every day. Your rock bottom belief, and I've been there, you give up because you don't see the result. You have one bad day and you think that that's you forever and you're never going to overcome your habits. You're not going to do it without a support system. So in order of priority, and I'm not being biased, it took me 4 years to do that, and that's what I don't want for anyone else, because it's my biggest regret. It took me too long.
That's it. And I always say, who, not how. Stop trying to figure out this master plan to lose so much weight on your own. Because I've never ever seen it done. I mean, so all you got to do is look at us, right? We know what we're doing more than 99% of people on planet Earth. We have coaches.
I've still got a coach.
So there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting help. It's just going to fast track your results. But them 3 action steps that you put in place there. So just by eye, lower your portions. Eat the same foods, but lower the portions. If you order a takeaway, you get burger and chips, get us medium. You know what I mean?
Don't get the sides. And it's a good way of starting out. So if anyone's listening to this, I know not everybody can afford coaching, and we do still want to help give tips to people to start their journey. Don't put it off, but there's things that you can be doing. Look at your step count. Everyone's got a mobile, so if you've not got a fitness watch, you've got a mobile which has a step count in your mobile nowadays. Look at your average now and just add 1,000
Bump it
steps
up.
on, because
Yeah.
1,000 steps is 10 minutes of walking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is 10 minutes? If you look at it like that, reduce your portions. I'm not saying change your food. Like, just reduce.
Yeah.
Change your orders slightly. Do you need the side order of the wings with a burger?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. So very, very free, easy actionables you can put in place. Move a little bit more, look at your average steps and just try and get that up. Eat a little bit less just from your plate. Just take a little small portion off and ask for advice at least. Just get help from someone who's done the thing. So question number 2 is, obviously you help mainly women who have had really bad kind of eating habits all life. They don't make the best choice of food. It's like, okay, if we're going Greg's, it's like a pasta, it's sausage roll. It's, do you know what I mean? We're not really controlled. So for these type of women that are coming in, that you can't just switch them into a carnivore ad. So what kind of structure are you putting in place for them from a food point of view?
Right. So this is something that I'm really passionate about, because women who I help, and let's get this straight, this is how I'm going to explain it. The type of women I help have such deep ingrained eating behaviours, they cannot go fully optimal straight away. And I seen a coach say it yesterday, that they start all of their clients on 0 processed food, because that's the way. That might be the way for their audience, okay? And I don't disagree with that, so let's get that straight. But my audience and my niche would never be successful at that. So my women, I look at their foods, because they do a questionnaire and they tell me the foods that they're eating. Those processed items that they're essentially addicted to hold a place in their diet with me. They can't go all or nothing, cold turkey straight from the off. What that does is it creates more opportunity for them to fail. And when you're already a woman who is overweight, obese, like classified, you know, and you have always struggled with your eating behaviours like I did, trying to go cold turkey and then failing 3 days in because you've ended up binging, you're constantly in a mindset of, I'm never going to do this. Why am I broken? Why is this coach on social media telling me that I should be cutting everything out, but I can't? And you just get so upset with yourself when actually you can do it by keeping those things within your diet. They actually hold a place. So just going back to the question, those foods need to stay.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a client now. She's, you know, she still has a kebab in her plan. She put it in the community yesterday. She celebrated. She's lost 12 kilograms. Her doctor actually told her to keep a coach because I've done more for her than medication has done for her. She's still had a kebab. We've just made reducing the kebab from a large to a medium.
Yeah.
She's lost more weight than medication was ever able to do. So those things hold a place for her to still not binge and deviate because she knows that she's still got those things. But we are trying to change it over time. And what that's going to do is it's going to snowball a belief system rather than create opportunity to fail. Is, if she went to that other coach, she'd fail 3 days in, she'd spiral for however long before she got the courage.
See them other coaches, like, they're not even willing to hear us out on this type of thing. And that's the mad, like, we hear them, yes, that is much healthier what you're saying, and we're going to end up trying to change our clients into that kind of lifestyle, like maybe what we are. We still eat processed food, by the way, but it's like, we'll always be there. But yes, of course, we're going to try and switch it from, okay, you can have a kebab a week to, okay, maybe let's get a Nando's or something. Do you know what I mean? We're going to try and improve the habits slowly. Whereas, like, so we're not against what you're saying, these coaches and these really strict, harsh people. But I've never seen a coach that does that that's got a highly successful kind of clientele. No. Because most of them will fucking leave. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
they're still stuck in the ways.
I can see them get amazing results with people who are already at that point in their life where they already eat organic and they already eat quite optimal. Like, you're working with people who are pretty, I'm going to say it's pretty easy client. Yeah. I would actually argue,
I love them clients.
I'll put myself here and take the firing line, but we work with the hardest of people because
I believe so.
To get a woman from, I mean, I've got women who 180 kg, to get them to 140 kilograms when they have way deeper eating behavior issues than me, you, many of people put together on this, listening to this podcast, to get them down 40 kilograms when they've been that, you know, so overweight and so down and built up such a failure mindset. Like, that takes a lot of support. That takes a lot of hand holding. It takes a lot of understanding. And I just think so many people are putting stuff out there. You just don't understand our audience. I understand yours. Yeah. You need to understand that I'm doing right by my clients. Because if I was to give them a completely optimal organic diet, I would create them. They would fail and leave me.
There were times at the start where we was a little bit less flexible. They'd just leave.
Yeah.
With the exact same coaches, exact same people, they'd just leave. It's as simple as that.
It's because we're human.
Yeah.
And I think we have a really good understanding because we are foodies and we've both been overweight. I know for certain, I know what you need and it's successful. Yeah. Like, we take women who have never been able to do it and they can now do it.
100%. Question 3. If you're a girl stuck with your weight, at a complete plateau, you've got PCOS, should you be doing high intensity interval, like kind of cardio, HIIT workouts?
So PCOS, no. Not high intensity. You can, and it's, you know, some people can, and I'm not going to say like 100% of women with PCOS can never do a HIIT workout, because I time to time will dabble into it because I actually do like those workouts, don't I? Yeah. However, my clients, I don't need to, like cardio, zone 2, just a lower nice pace, heart rate 145. I don't ever prescribe exactly what the cardio equipment needs to be, because I'm an advocate for movement in any form. So again, I lean into what my clients' needs are rather than what I just want to give them, because I want my clients to love what they're doing, because then you get better results out of them because they love what they're doing. They don't think it's hard. They don't have that failure mindset again because they're constantly resenting what it is that I'm asking them to do. So, and my clients love the walking, the incline treadmills, building up to a Stairmaster, swims, you know, movement in any form. But I wouldn't ask my PCOS girls to do high intensity. And that's just to go a little bit deeper into that. If they've got PCOS, they often have probably on average 30 kg to lose. I would prefer, again, as well, to just keep their hunger stable. Doing 2 high intensity workouts, it pushes your hunger, it exacerbates it. It actually makes you less adherent to your diet itself. So I think there's 2 angles that need to be looked at. Not only for, of course, you know, your insulin, etc. I don't want to go too sciencey into that. Like, just trying to keep it simple. High intensity workouts make you ravenous. Yeah. And when you're already up against being a binger or someone who's struggled with sticking to diets, it's pushing you into a more risky territory, because you're going to go home ravenous and you're going to open the fridge and you're still dealing with that element of yourself. So I prefer to keep it nice and steady, hunger nice and stable, because you're more likely to stick to your diet.
Yeah, 100%. And girls who struggle to stick to the diet, do you believe that they just don't want it enough?
No. And that gets me upset, because I still remember people who said that to me. Oh God, I've not cried on these for a long time. But I said to you, it's probably gonna like trigger me a little bit. And I think that's because I've spoke to, oh God, just give me a minute.
I'll have a bit of coffee.
Like, I feel it really deep for my clients. I'm not even having my nails done, guys. That is one of the most upsetting things as a woman who's been overweight and struggled. And I hear it all the time from my clients that they've been made to feel that way. But having been there and wanting it more than anything, it's proper shit. They want it. They want it.
Of course you do.
They,
You've invested. You're here.
you know, they want it more than anything in the world. Like, I've been the girl who's been 107 kilograms, literally hated my appearance, missed out on holidays, literally had the darkest of thoughts about like I've spoke about this before, like cutting my belly off with scissors, but would then proceed to open the fridge and make a cheese and salad cream sandwich at midnight because I was an emotional eater, hated my appearance, but food was then my comfort, and we do want it, and they do want it.
Yeah.
So anyone who says otherwise, you've just, in my opinion, always been in quite a privileged position with your physique and your body and your mind.
Yeah.
And that it's pure ignorance to think that they don't want it, because they do.
People do not put themselves in the client's shoes. And you need to, like, some coaches need to wake up. You're saying you don't want it enough to someone who's literally invested in you, invested the time, invested their effort. If someone's not communicating, fair enough. But if someone is communicating with you saying, I keep failing at this, I'm trying so hard, something needs to give. Yeah. So that this one got put in the chat last minute, and I've added it in kind of in the middle. You're the queen, you're the absolute queen at bringing people back to life. So when a female is on the verge of giving up, I can't do this anymore, I'm not doing this anymore, how do you bring them back?
Again, like, I've been there. I bring them back from not giving up because I was queen of giving up. It took me 4 years to do. So there's actually not a client who will ever beat me on the title of how long it took. Yeah. Like, there's always a strategy. Like, you want to give up because of what? Like, let's understand it. Like, this is where you give up because you're getting frustrated with yourself, but you've not like really reflected and understood what's going on. And that's the difference now having a coach, because you've got someone to level out with your thoughts and find a different strategy and be a support for you. Like, I gave up on myself for 4 long years and then got back on it. So I really understand. I think I've got that upper hand of knowing, like, there's nothing you can tell me that I've not experienced. And there's not anything that I can't actually provide you that I'm confident I can get anyone through it. Like, I know I probably work with, honestly, some of the furthest gone women. Yeah. You know, and I'm not going to air that today because I've got plans in the future for some of those women who I will have in a podcast one day who will be, I would like to say, in terms of online coaching, the greatest success story and amount of loss. And I'm going to have her on a podcast, and she makes me so emotional, like, thinking about her. But I will get anyone through it. Yeah. And it's because there is a way for everybody. You just need to be understood, and you need a strategy for you and your life and your circumstances. And having a coach to show you those examples and trial and error things. Like, there's not anyone who's proven me different. Yeah. I just think if you're on the verge of giving up, this is what I do all the time. So, okay, so we've got giving up and we've got carrying on. Write down every positive to giving up. There's not a lot. Write down every negative to giving up. You stay in the same situation, you stay unhappy for the rest of your life, you have health problems creeping up, you don't have sex with your partner anymore, you don't go on holiday. What are the positives to giving up? Oh, it's a little bit less stress on me. That is it. Write down the positives of staying on and getting the result. So many positives. Write down. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you do that and actually write things down, positive and negative, to the decision that you're about to make, you can then make an accurate kind of adjustment and go, right, actually, I'm being stupid. I'm very highly emotional. Don't react off emotion. Yeah, a lot of the time it's like, and I give tough love to my women because we have such an good relationship. I can give tough love, and sometimes it's a case of, okay, so you want to give up because you're frustrated with the rate in which this is coming off, but what's your alternative? Like, you give up and you stay as you are. That's or it. Actually, more than likely, you're going to relapse and go back and gain more weight. So why not just be a little bit frustrated from time to time that you've not woken up like in your dream body, which just isn't going to happen, but you go at your pace, but your pace is your pace. And by not giving up, you are going to reach your destination. Like, they do, every single one of them.
Yeah.
And I laugh with them sometimes, and I will throw banter in there, because I'll be like, do you remember 3 check-ins ago when you were ready to throw in the towel, and here you are hitting new lows, and they're all like, oh, piss off.
Yeah, remember, you can guarantee success, but not speed.
Yeah.
And that is it. Okay, cool. So the next question is, what was that one moment? I think you had about 5, to be honest, but what was... Okay, let's talk about the top 2 moments where you was like, when you was overweight at your heaviest, you fuck, I need to change.
2 really traumatizing ones, which probably a lot of people listening to this can relate to. But I used to be so triggered by my weight or my size. I used to pull the size off of hangers when I used to go shopping. Like, that's how deep it was. But I went to New York, and to get on a helicopter, I didn't know you got weighed to distribute the weight around the helicopter. And I got weighed in front of strangers and my ex at the time, and it was quite literally soul destroying to see your weight, to determine where you sit in the aircraft, and it literally shattered my experience. Like,
you had to sit separate, did you not?
I had to sit separate because he was a tall guy, and his weight made him on the heavier side, even though he was not overweight. And we had to sit separately on each side of the aircraft to distribute our weight with a stranger in between. And you know what? Like, it was more the weighing and those numbers painfully just being shown, which it's just a number at the end of the day. But
there's so many girls that avoid the scales so much because they just don't want to come to that realisation.
Yeah, like, I could deal with it on my own. I didn't like it, but I felt so much shame having people know what I weighed. And I mean, you could have looked at me and hazard a guess, but having that visibly, like, up there, to know what the purpose of it was just soul destroying. So that was a big one. And then the second one was, I went to Egypt, and I went I didn't go with, but we went with another couple, and we was all queuing for a slide where you sit in the double
water park,
the double rings at a water park. And my couple friend went on, and, you know, usually, because in relationships the woman does tend to be smaller than her companion,
maybe at the front,
and they would sit at the front, and we got weighed again, to make sure that the combined weight was good enough to get on the slide, and we passed that, so we got put on the scales, and again I got weighed, and it flashes green or red, and that was soul destroying. But then my size meant that I had to get sat behind my ex, and he was in front of me, so, like, I was legs spread at the back of the rubber ring, and he was in front of me, which, you know, again, like, I'm sure people listening to this, it's happened to, but it, you know, as a woman, and watching all of the girls and all of the boyfriends go on it, like, hundreds of people before you, and all the women are, like, sort of like cradled in front of their partner, and he's protecting you, and actually it's me at the back. That was just soul destroying as well. So both of those situations, just being weighed and feeling actually, like, mortified and put on a pedestal, like, that was it. Just thought, I'm not going through that again.
Do you still get certain feelings like that? So obviously, since you've known me, you've not been, like, overweight to that level, but there are times where we've kind of fluctuated a little bit because we've maybe partied a few years ago or whatever it is. Have you had any, like, moments since then, even, like, on a lower scale though?
Yeah, so I know when I'm getting uncomfortable, when, like, you'll give me a hug and it literally makes my toes curl, because I think, oh, it can, like, feel the extra squish.
Extra squish.
Like, the extra squish.
You like it when I've got extra squish.
Yeah, but, like, there'll be little things. I mean, sizes don't bother me anymore. I do a lot of my online shopping anyway. But, yeah, like, it just feels now for me.
Yeah, with you, it's random shit. It's like when I walk in the room, you're naked. It's like when I walk in the bathroom, you're getting out and you're in the shower. It's when
Yeah,
I
I'll
cuddle
never
you.
be comfortable with that.
It's when I like touch a certain part of your body when I'm watching a film. You're like, get the fuck off. I'm like, it's all right. You know what I mean? So yeah,
And that's because it's uncomfortable to me, because I don't. There's certain body parts which I'm not comfortable with still with myself, and I'll never ever feel comfortable anyone seeing me undressed. Like, all my mates will know I still hurry off into a room. Like, I'm never gonna be that mate. Too far gone in that mindset. But yeah, with me and you now, it's just like, get off me, like, stop touching there. And you're like, I like my hip, which is obviously, I've got excess skin on that hip, which we've spoken about. And you go, I love that bit.
I really like your hips.
How could you say you like that bit? Not
but
to
I
be
do
sick.
though. But I do though. So I maybe I love your imperfections, but it's fine to me. Everyone's gonna be going, oh, but I do like that bit. What are the 3 biggest diet mistakes you see ladies make?
Dieting mistakes. Just trying to go all or nothing and cut things out. So I think I just protect your peace and have almost an awareness of the content that you're consuming. I want you to think, does this person mirror my current situation? You know, are they, like, when we go back to the coaches who preach optimal and no processed, are you in that situation right now? Because if you're not, that's not the right person for you, because you're not going to succeed with that person. So I think trying to go all or nothing is where they go wrong, because I'm sorry, honey, but you are not going to succeed if you cut everything out of your diet.
Yeah.
Trying to increase the volume of movement too much, they just do burnout.
Yeah.
Like, I had a client sign up with me this week. She's 94 kilograms, and I've given her a food, and she said, oh my God, I'm really scared because my last coach told me I should be eating 1,200. I'm like, you're not far off of 15 stone. I haven't even got girls on who weigh 55 kilograms eating 1,200 calories.
There's like the one time where someone would just be so like adamant to stick to it, so stubborn, they would stick to it and drop loads of weight, but it's like once in a blue moon. Like, there's no point in trying to put everyone on that amount of calories.
It's too stressful. You know, you're not, and again, it boils down to the psychology of, you need the belief, you need the wins. But for every time that you put yourself in a situation where you risk failing, you build a wall up of, look at me, I can't do it. So I'm not saying people's strategies aren't necessarily right, but you also need to have an element of, what's the likelihood of that person being able to have success with it? And if they can't, and they're likely to fail week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, they can't count it out. So I think just trying to go sacrifice too much, including social events and meals out,
being too restrictive.
Like, you need that balance of life. We have a very stressful, like, work balance and family lives. Like, it's the norm. You need those things to keep you sane. And number 3,
I think giving themselves too little time.
Yeah.
To not allow that flexibility to allow themselves to make the mistakes. Do you know what I mean? That's a massive one I see with women, like 6-week programs, 8-week programs, 12-week programs. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need time to make mistakes. You need time to eat out. You need time to enjoy your life, and just like stop rushing the process that's going to be life changing. Like, this is going to change your life. You put 12 months, 2 years into that, then it truly is going to change your life. 6-week process is not going to change your life. It's not enough time to truly stick.
And just one final one on that is, like, just not understanding what is happening during a diet. Because I say it all the time. I think, number 1, the biggest reason why women give up is fluctuations. They don't understand what the scales are saying to them and why. And because you don't understand that, you give up. So fluctuations, you just don't understand that after one meal, you are going to weigh up on the scales. It doesn't mean you're broken. And it's not that that's an isolated situation. We all weigh heavier after having a meal out.
Yes.
But women say to me, I can't even eat out without gaining 6 pounds on the scales. It's not real weight. If you weigh yourself 3 days later, it's gone. So I think the mistake in dieting as well is weighing once a week, or weighing after you go out for a meal, and not understanding what's happening, letting yourself get in your own head, thinking that you're broken and it's a you thing. It's not a you thing. You just don't understand your fluctuations.
Yeah.
You don't understand scales.
Weight is not fat.
I think that's the most freeing thing that I provide to my women. I literally back it. I have so many women who go, who am I anymore? And I think genuinely the biggest point, the biggest change that you can provide yourself is finally freeing yourself of what is happening to your body with fluctuations and scale weight. Because once I get a woman to a certain point where she messages me and goes, I'm up on the scales today because of course I had that Nando's yesterday and it says that I'm up 4 pounds, but give it 3 days, and I go, hello.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It snowballs, because once you get beyond that point, the results just literally snowball, and it's so freeing.
You just took the emotion out of the whole thing.
Like,
and they understand why.
They get it. And once you get past that point, that's the point you've never been able to free yourself from. So I have Mica-isms, and I call it breaking the shackles with my girls. But once they get through that point, it just happens then.
Yeah.
Get to new points, and it's easy. It's not, I don't want to say it's easier, but the trauma and the upset is just so far gone.
Yeah, amazing. Next question from Instagram. What's your take on coaches giving women who, like we train, a bodybuilding program to start?
Who I train?
Yeah.
So I train beginners.
Yeah.
Women who aren't confident really in gyms, have quite a lot of weight to lose. So just to clarify, like women who I train, a bodybuilder program, they're very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You know, I've got lots of women who have said, like, I was given fancy movements that give me a lot of anxiety. Like, I know those movements that are giving you anxiety. I would not step anywhere near a cable machine.
Yeah.
No way was I putting and unclicking things from
you
hooks.
do a Smith machine reversal hyperextension.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I know the things that literally will be like, oh, like, no way. So getting a bodybuilder program as a woman who's got zero experience.
Even a fucking gym program.
Yeah, like, honestly, again, look at who you're seeking help from. Are they going to understand where you're at with your confidence, your gym anxiety? Like, movement in any form. You need to do movement that you enjoy.
How did you train when you was losing weight?
I just did steps and swims.
Swims, yeah.
Steps and swims, because I was so anxious by a gym. And again, I think it's that psychology of, I needed to just be given stuff that encouraged my movement, because me going into a gym and using 90 minutes, my commute there, 60 minutes in the gym, and even my commute back, I was that scared of the movements, and I was that much of a, like, anxious person of the apparatus and the machines. I would probably not even burn 100 calories because I would skip movements. I wouldn't tell my coach. I wouldn't really do a lot. I wouldn't give it a lot because I'd be like, everyone's looking at me. Rather than utilize that amount of time and not get much value out of it, I'd rather you do a swim or a walk.
Exactly.
Because you're going to burn more calories.
Right.
And again, this is where I say simple fat loss, and you don't understand the head space of a woman like who I've been and the women who I help. They'll get far more out of a walk than trying to push them into a gym. I don't disagree that a gym holds a place and that muscle holds a place, but let's not get that twisted right now.
But you start where you're at, not where you need to be.
Yeah, you start with the confidence, and they just need to lose weight. The body fat is a problem. If I can get weight off them doing steps, and actually the steps give more value than getting them into a gym and making them, again, I'm just creating opportunity for them to fail, because they're going to go into a gym and they're going to be like, I'm never going to be able to do that. I hate it. I don't like this. Probably ghost me. Yeah. Because they don't feel like sometimes they can speak to me and tell me that they don't like it. Like, I just understand a woman in that situation so much that I get way more out of them than pushing them into a gym.
Thing is, you're grabbing a woman from the public who watch 4 or 5 hours of Netflix a night, takeaways. If you can get them to do 8 to 10k steps a day, that is huge. And celebrate that instead of putting so much expectation on someone. And then when they're not doing maybe a couple of exercises or a session, they skip a session, then punishing them.
Yeah.
Like, well done for
or
doing
punish
steps.
themselves.
Yeah.
They punish themselves because you reinforce that you're just not this gym person, and you're looking around at people, you're comparing, you think, why can't I look like that? Or why am I like this? They punish themselves more than anything.
Yeah.
And like, you don't want that. You want them to believe in themselves, do your steps, burn way more calories than going into the gym.
You have had hundreds of girls that'll go from that into the gym.
Oh, 100%. Look at me as well. Like, I go to a gym now, and if I'd have looked back and told me you'd be in a gym and you were training the biggest gym in Dubai with bodybuilders everywhere and not care, I mean, I still have anxious moments where I say to you, show me this new machine, because I'm a bit freaked out. But I have so many women who started off at steps, then increased to home workouts, and then they're like, hey, I really want to go to a gym class. And everyone gets there, but it's about stages and phases.
Yeah, 100%. Next question is, how would you get rid of stubborn belly fat or hip fat?
Well, having hip issues, so stubborn belly fat and hips, you can't target it. And I think so many people are targeting women out there nowadays, like, oh, do you want to get rid of your stubborn belly fat? And I'll never do that. I want to stay totally honest with my audience and niche. I could use it as a tactic.
Yeah, do this PCOS belly burning.
Yeah, PCOS belly burning exercise. Listen, guys, if I wanted to do that and I could get the clicks and I could get the audience to literally buy my program or buy my secret supplement, then believe me, I could do it, and I could probably make a lot of money, but I'm never going to do it.
Yeah.
If anything, I actually have a platform where I call out the bullshit and like, just not going to work. So PCOS women with the stubborn belly fat, which if you've not seen my photos, I've never had a flat tummy all of the time. I had typical textbook PCOS belly. You just need to do fat loss. You need to focus on fat loss, and your stomach will, over time, improve.
Yeah,
it will.
Repeat. Adhere to a diet long enough where the fat comes off your stomach.
Yeah.
That is it.
It might be that it feels slower. It might be that it feels like it never changes. It's impossible to not be changing. It will be. Like, it's just that you hate that area so much, like I did, that's the area that you focus most on. And you don't see the changes day by day and week by week. It takes time. Yeah. But it will be. And that's why measurements are important, you know. But the reason you think it's not changing is because it's the area you probably dislike most and you want it to change the quickest. You just got to be patient. But do not, I repeat, do not buy a supplement. Do not buy a training program that has anything that says PCOS, belly, exercise, or do take this supplement that's going to get rid of it. The only thing that's going to get rid of your stomach is exercise and diet, and it's more diet than your exercise.
For long enough.
And
that is it.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay, cool. Next one. Boom. How has your daily routine changed from when you was originally losing weight? Like, what was you doing, like food-wise, training-wise, to actually now you've progressed in knowledge and confidence and stuff? What's actually changed?
So I was everything that I've said don't do today. So, oh God, I feel upset again just like thinking about it, 'cause it's actually pretty sad. So I was so desperate. I tried everything that I now say today don't, but it was because I looked in the wrong places. I was the girl who was hooked on the social media influencers, the take a tea bag. I'd literally like have diarrhea, like running, like that's what it did to you.
Who's teabagging you?
It was called booty, but me and Kendall, my best friend, called it pooty because it literally just made you.
It's shit.
Yeah, you literally be like, oh my God. And I used to double
Nasty.
teabag. So before a night
Double
out,
dropped.
I used to double booty for the extra, like,
Real heavy.
extra get rid of. And I used to really, like, marinate my tea bag as well. Like, I wouldn't take it out of the cup. So I did everything that I don't want women to do today. I starved myself, like we've spoke about before, like fish and sprouts. Like, I tried to cut carbs. I did everything wrong.
Yeah.
And over time, I realised that I was doing that thing where I just made myself fail. And I built up that anger towards myself and upset. Like, why can't I do it? And it wasn't that I couldn't do it. I was putting things in place which were never going to let me do it.
Yeah.
Because I was absorbing the wrong information. Over time, I educated myself slowly but surely. And I understood that everything that I'd been doing was always jeopardising and hurting me. So I introduced carbs. I learned about PCOS. I studied so much. I focused on movement, which was right for me. I stopped trying to do what everyone else was trying to tell me to do. And I stopped trying to put myself in an anxious situation in the gym. In the end, I just thought, I'm just going to focus on steps and swims because that's what I like.
Yeah.
I can actually get more out of my day doing that.
Yeah.
And I started to just see progress doing my steps and swims.
So that was when you was losing weight and when you were successful. What's actually going on now, though?
What's
How have you
going
progressed?
on now? God.
Well, from what I can see, your story is like kind of exactly what someone should be taking inspiration from, because you was not a girl always interested in the gym. You was not a girl always interested in, science and dieting and this, whereas like that's where we're different. For you to go from someone who was just one of them fad ladies who did Slimming World, keto, tried the pills, the shakes, to then actually progressing into understanding, circuit training and training in the gym, in a group kind of situation, to now training in one of the best gyms, bodybuilding gyms in the world, and cracking on and lifting big weight. Also, from a dieting point of view, fad diets, to that now eating carbs, now eating foods that you love, eating out a couple of times a week with me. And with the physique you've got as well, the physique development, that is a crazy journey. And you at the start were just like these women. These women can't imagine being you right now, but you did it.
I say to women all the time, like, look at me. Like, you've come to me because a lot of the time they say I've listened to your podcast and we're so similar. And I have so much belief in them because I'll be like, look at what I've done. Like, you can do what I've done because I was you and you will be me almost. Like, that's what you need to see. Like, look at each other from across the table. But yeah, like, I'm not scared of food anymore. I'm not scared of having a bad day and a day off, of what my plan should look like. Because of course I'm still coached, but I'm coached for my goals and what I want to do. But like, I eat a lot of food. I have 2 massive bowls of porridge a day, don't I? Like, I'm not scared of eating and I'm not scared of training. And it's crazy, like, what I once was like and how against I am of what I did. But it's because it's got so much trauma attached to it of what I did and how long it made me hurt. And that's why I'm so triggered a lot of the time on my social media when I see stuff on socials, like the greens thing, the greens movement. I'm not saying it's probably not a good product for what they've like made it for, but they've got really good marketing tactics. So I feel like every influencer and like Instagrammer, TikToker is currently like using this product, but the giveaway is like paid commission on the bottom of the screen. What there's no control over is how they push that product. Like, the developers haven't pushed it for anything else but helping digestion and just getting some key like nutrients into you. But there's no control over how people who get then paid commission to sell that product, how they push it.
Yeah, because they're ruthlessly just trying to earn commission.
I literally this week was so triggered because I seen a girl say, this was me like 6 weeks ago with a like a belly, and she was like, and now she's lost weight, but she's pushing it on the basis of it's that product that's got her to lose weight. She doesn't realise that.
When actually, subconsciously, you probably get better.
You've eaten better, and you've eaten better, and you've moved more. that product, unless that's all you're having, which, like, think of the danger that you're putting out there. And it just angers me because there's millions of young people, or not even young, but just anyone who's vulnerable, like digesting that information, who's buying that product, who thinks that that product alone is going to get that result. And I just think it's madness. And I'm so triggered and annoyed by them all, because that was me one day. That's not getting the result alone. Good diet and exercises, which the developer puts on their website, but the influencers and the way that they're pushing it is wrong. You might have done that if you're only having that shake, but how dangerous is that? That's what people don't think. Ugh, yeah
100%. And going back to, like, kind of who you was to who you are now, I think it's so inspirational. Like, you can be 107 kilos, normal 9 to 5 corporate setting, to now actually training, dieting well, teaching others. Like, them two things are so contrasting. And if anyone's got self-belief issues, or, you know, don't believe that you can have a career change or a lifestyle change, like, literally, you are proof. I think so many people presume that you've always been who you are today, and you've not. Maybe I have, because I, you know, played rugby, I boxed, I've always been into sport and always been interested in this. But you've completely switched your whole narrative round, which is inspirational to other women. So the last question that I've got written down, I don't know if you want me to, like, kind of make a few up on the spot, but the last question I've got written down: what is the thing you want most in life?
To get married.
I knew that was. As I said the first letter of that sentence, I thought, I know exactly what's coming. Guys.
No, jokes aside, in the community chat today, Keith had said, what's the number one question that you want to ask me today? And one of my clients put, when's she going to be a wife? So that was just in the top of my head.
I just sip my coffee.
But I do want to get married.
Yeah, it will come. Let's get your expensive birthday out the way first.
What do I want most in life?
All you can think is marriage, innit?
What do I want most in life? I just want to be healthy.
Yeah.
And live long. I want to make a ripe old age.
Fuego puppies.
No fuego puppies.
No fuego puppies.
But, like, I literally live my best, like, dream job every day. And I genuinely mean it. Like, when every client signs up with me or us, like, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I say it, and it's not bullshit. Like, I literally say it back to you, and they're like, oh, thank you so much. And I'm like, no, thank you. Like, it means the world to me and us equally that we're the ones that get to show you what is possible, because I genuinely believe we're so caring, we're so hands-on. Like, we will do it for them.
Yeah.
Like, we really, really, really do care. And
I feel like we both pride ourselves on the same thing. Like, we are them people who go the extra mile.
Yeah.
We will do it. Like, so many people think online coaches will agree to do something and it takes them days and they don't reply and they're living this mad lifestyle. No, we are in the trenches every day of our clients. We actually do it.
One of my clients said to me, when you speak to you, this always stays me. When you speak to you think, oh, it's just another sales gimmick, and then she goes, and then you work with you, and you're actually the real deal.
Yeah, we actually fucking do the thing. Like,
shout out, Charlie.
I just want to be known as, like, you know, my kind of outcome in life is I just want, like, my family and everyone to be proud of me and not see me as this kind of stupid kid who have always maybe thought I was. But when clients appreciate how hard we work, like that gives me the most fulfillment ever.
And I do actually think we did that anonymous survey this week. I actually believe we have such a loving clientele. Like, they actually say to me, Mish, you deserve your holiday and you do so much for us. And I have the most, like, every one of them. Like, I'm going through my head right now, and they're all so grateful that they found me, but, like, I'm grateful that, like, they did find me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, good. I love a good loving client. Okay. The only ones that you know, the clients that frustrate me, just when they won't communicate, don't realise we want to do the thing for them. Like, come on, just give me a message back and we'll fix it. Like, that's frustrating, because we're so willing to do the
because
work.
we'll change stuff. So anyone who's listening to this who might want to join on with us, like, number one thing, if something doesn't work for you, just tell us. Like, don't feel that ashamed where you ghost because you think that you're not going to be able to do it, because that first version of what we gave you that's not coaching is changing. and I'm an empath, so I get very anxious. You get very anxious if someone just ignores you.
I've got more anxiety than you.
Like, I feel like sending like a carrier pigeon to the house to be like, no, just open the message.
Yeah.
It drives you insane.
I'm genuinely riddled in anxiety most, like 90% of the time. Like, you have to actually chill me out.
Open the message.
Yeah.
But,
so
yeah,
guys, right.
Think of someone on the spot.
Think of someone on the spot. Fucking hell. I can't think. Right, let's see how long we can make this last.
Maybe anything.
Whoa, we've switched up the light. I like that. Right, okay, so.
Is that because you touched it?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh.
So what's your future vision for yourself as a coach?
Go on.
No, it's all. I don't mind the blue.
Were they on for you?
What?
Were they on? On yours?
Not the blue, it was white.
Go on.
Let's think of some questions then. What do you think? I ain't got any more.
Yeah. Even if it's just like fun, me and you.
Okay, so let's
bonus questions,
right.
And it can be
right. Bonus questions round.
Questions.
We're gonna do personal. We're gonna do everything.
Because we've got like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but you also don't want it to drag on too much. But right, okay, right. I'll edit the big pause out while I was thinking of a few questions. I've still not thought of any, but we're going to do a bit of a bonus round of kind of personal and kind of lifestyle questions as well.
Yeah.
What's been the proudest moment in your life so far?
Proudest moment of my life?
Yeah.
So far?
Put you on the spot there.
Oh, God. Proudest moment of my life so far?
You have to have a proudest moment in your life. Oh.
I'd still say probably like maintaining my weight.
Really?
Yeah.
Genuine. Yeah.
Like, that is probably because it was the biggest thing of my life, and it obviously, like, it's still like deeply traumatic to me. So until there's something else that comes, like my wedding or having children, I think it is like not necessarily just losing the weight, it's actually having maintained it, because I am still the emotional eating girl that I very once was. I just manage it, so I'm really proud of that, because to do what I did on my own and maintain it, I think it's pretty hard. So I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, nah, I rate that.
What's yours?
Oh shit. Nah, I actually know mine. Of course
he knows.
I always know mine. I've got a few proud moments, but probably the proudest, where I felt like the absolute man, like I felt like the man, was obviously you was a superstar at your old work, and like you was pretty set in that job. When I come back from Dubai after a mastermind and said, quit your job, you're going to work with me, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to move to Dubai. And I actually fucking followed through with that. And like, you quit your job, I was like, fuck, like I've got to really deliver here. Actually doing that, and then seeing you actually progress into who you are now and doing what you're doing, like, and actually like getting us to Dubai, and that's my proudest moment. And I hold on to that all the time, because that was a massive risk making you quit your job, but I did make you quit it. Like, I forced you to quit it.
Yeah, I had a pretty good job, quite a senior position in Bupa as a quality manager, and it was proud for you, but you tore, like, my entire team hated Keith for doing it.
Sorry, guys.
And that, do you know what? One of my thoughts when you asked me about proudest moments, like, that job actually popped in my head briefly, because I still loved my job and I loved my team so much. But it gave me so many skills to transfer over to this, because I managed so many people and I managed them towards their goals in a different sort of capacity. But it's still the same, like bringing the best out of people. So,
yeah.
And I was amazing at that job.
One of mine as well is, honest to God, right, keeping that dog alive.
Right, I'm going to tell a personal story here. So when we got Fuego, and we brought him home.
Oh. What were you going to say?
We brought Fuego home, and he was a little puppet, and we loved him so much. But Keith started to go really weird, and I was like, why are you being weird? And he got upset and he said, what if he changes us and our dynamic so much, because it's a new thing in our relationship.
What it was is,
and you were scared of like us not being able to like keep him alive.
no, what it was, I couldn't take my eyes off him. I thought he was going to die and it was going to be my fault. And I'd not even spoke to you for 48 hours and I thought, Misha's going to hate me because I can't take my eyes off this dog, this puppy that's getting about, and he's jumping off the couch and he's falling on his back and he's got gangly legs. And I thought, this dog's not going to survive 3 years. And now we're 3 years deep and look at him and go, oh.
It was so funny.
Yeah, so yeah,
You
I actually started crying.
The whole relationship was just gonna be like,
I thought my life was over.
The dog is gonna come between us.
I didn't even think about work. I did not reply to clients for like 2 days because I was watching this puppy like, you need to stay alive while your mum's out because it's gonna be on my toes. So yeah, that's another one. I'm also looking forward to my family coming as well. What are you looking most forward to in the next 12 months? Hopeful marriage.
No, proposal jokes aside, because it's not funny anymore. What am I most looking forward to?
Yeah,
in the next 12 months, we've got a lot coming up over the next 12 months, which is exciting, but comes with a lot of like, whoa, because we're responsible for a lot of people. We care about them a lot. They do need presence because we do help, like we say, some of the hardest of people. So as soon as you're out the equation, they're a little bit turbulent, but we've got so much coming up. My friend gets married next year in Mykonos, so we've got a hen do plus a wedding in Mykonos.
First couple wedding, that isn't it? No, we've been to one.
No, we've been.
Our name is
my best friend gets married 4 days later, and I've got to get from Mykonos to the UK within 2 days.
Yeah,
and I'm a bridesmaid for that.
My stepdad gets married.
And then, yeah, we've got another wedding in September. There's a lot of travel next year for important things, and I'm super excited because it's going to be, I'm in my wedding era, basically. Lots of weddings next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots to come, but there's a lot. It's exciting because we've got a lot to work through to make sure that we can enjoy that time, but whilst everybody is still looked after and has the same level of service.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm looking most forward to, having Winning Fitness set up really where everyone is getting the absolute best results from the team, and it's ran and it's just growing constantly, but it actually runs like a machine in the club.
Because we need, like, I want to be able to be present and at my friends' weddings and not be consumed about work. Like, we all have annual leave. It was so much easier when I was corporate and I was employed because, 2 weeks, I'd live my best life on a beach. I'd still open my emails because I was that sort of manager, but I never felt as responsible and worried as what I can do now. But that's just because I care a lot. But next year, I don't want to be at my best friend's hen do, my other friend's hen do, both their weddings, your dad's wedding, thinking the world's collapsing, which is how it can feel sometimes. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's so difficult. So before we leave, let's make everyone hungry. What is your favourite off-plan meal? Or favourite meal if we were to eat out?
Ooh,
so hard.
This is so hard.
So hard. That's why there's a place
Right,
called...
do you know what? No, it's not hard for me.
Not?
It's not.
Go on.
My favourite meal...
Is a curry.
It's a curry.
Yeah, I thought it was a curry.
100% curry girl through and through. So much so, before we came back to Dubai, me and Kate had a fallout.
Massive
because I love Dishoom in Manchester, and they've got restaurants all over the UK. If you've not been to Dishoom, you are crazy. But Dishoom is my absolute favourite. Whenever I go back home, I've got to have a Dishoom. And I made, because if you don't book in, and they only have very limited bookings, if you've not booked in, you've got a queue outside and you've just got to wait on the door. And I made him wait an hour and a half to get in.
I was starving. I was supposed to meet friends to say goodbye. Oh, it's frustrating. honest to God, but she was so adamant about this dish room. I offered to take her everywhere, every 5-star Michelin fucking restaurant in Manchester.
Nope, I wanted a dish room, so I waited an hour and a half in the cold without a jacket on because I wanted a dish room before I came back home. But they don't have one in Dubai. But what is it? Is it Bombay Chow Pate?
Yeah, no, Bombay Bungalow Chow Pate. That's a little
That's
takeaway.
the little takeaways.
Yeah, but the bungalow one's nice.
Bungalow's so good. So for me, I'll always pick a curry. I just think Indian food, and you can stay pretty good. So I can still have.
Sure.
I mean, I don't stay good, but it's
Could.
if you're actually on a journey of fat loss, you still can make much more sensible and better decisions.
Chicken tikka boiled rice, easy.
Yeah, than like a Chinese, which everything's
Chinese is
fried.
hard, yeah.
So, listen.
Mine is everything and anything. Seriously, I love all. I would have like a curry and then a pizza on the side and a kebab and then a burger and chips.
Yours is Domino's and wings.
No, it's not. It's not Domino's.
It's
100% not Domino's. That's a one.
Domino's is always your go-to.
It's not. It's not.
Chicken
Pizza
wings.
is not my favourite. I like chicken wings for whatever reason, but also chicken. I don't feel like chicken wings are my
Go on
favourite.
then. So what is it? Because I think you're gonna lie.
Everything. Like I will have a pizza with a burger and chips with got to be loaded fries with sushi.
No, but you can't pick everything.
I can't.
What's your number one? Can't say everything, I'm afraid.
Oh, I have no idea. This is the thing.
This is my point.
I also
so
like
it would be a
sweet.
Domino's.
Nah,
You always want a Domino's.
Domino's with wings.
And you always buy wings. And I proved it to you because once I pointed out the wings things, everywhere we go, you always have to look for wings on the menu.
The quality of wings is important, though. Like, not that fatty shit. Anyway, guys, right, I hope you took a lot of value from this podcast. We're going to call it now because we're talking about chicken wings. So if you took inspiration from this podcast and you have any more questions for Mica or myself, please let us know. Give us either of us a message on Instagram, Mrs. Winning Fitness and Winning Fitness, and we will get back to you as soon as. So yeah, thank you for listening, and yeah, hope we didn't bore you too much.
Thanks. Done. How did they